recent years, with the rapid development of the Internet, the convenience of e-commerce and digital payment has been obvious. Under this trend, entertainment has been continuously integrated into modern business. That the traditional business model consisting of products, brand, and service has become a multi-dimensional competition. The traditional business logic has changed dramatically. More and more people are talking about key opinion leaders, KOLs, international influencers, the live streaming economy, and the fan economy. Especially since the beginning of COVID-19 in 2020, which has caused huge damage to the global economy with strict quarantine measures, the real economy and offline stores has been struck severely. However, online commerce and thousands of internet celebrities don't seem to be affected by this wave. Rather, they break out of the pack like a dark horse. In China, lots of movie stars and singers start to become anchors to bring goods into the live broadcasting room, and they created lots of sales miracles. Generation X consumers lack sufficient interest in online shopping because of the influences of traditional consumer habits, as well as the rusty use of online shopping platforms and social platforms. Generation Y people. Young people are more knowledgeable about internet and pop culture compared to the middle and older age groups. Their busy work schedule make it difficult for them to spend too much time for offline shopping. Therefore, online shopping caters their needs. Generation Z people have diversified lives and have good economic conditions. Their consumption needs are mainly self-satisfaction. According to the Talking Data 2021 New Consumer Report, Generation Y is still the main force in the consumer market, but Generation Z has already started to lead the changes in consumer trade in certain areas. Many consumers buy products based on the recommendations of their favorite KOLs, such as Li Jiaqi, who has successfully gained 170 million consumers through live streaming. Especially in the live environment, any kinds of good can be displayed and tried immediately, and the anchor can answer people's questions at any time. It's a good way to throw customers' worries about product quality and other kinds of questions and make them just buy it. Due to the advent of the self-media era, KOLs have taken up a very important position in people's daily life. Many internet celebrities carefully show their audience how they live and how they consume, presenting a fantastic lifestyle. And people value the influence of the internet celebrities in the decision-making process, in some cases forming a fan effect. Some people who criticize this trend, but for the KOL's followers, KOLs are both a working advertisement and also a trusted friend. Many KOL have become a bridge between consumers and brands. Some celebrities analyze of several products from a professional point of view in their video to make brand make some improvements. For brand, this is also a good way to get closer to their customers. and listen the real feedback. And now many different platforms in the internet industry also have different positions. For example, Chinese people are used to read the recommendations or other kinds of news from KOL on social media, on Weibo or WeChat, and then they go into Xiaohongshu, one UGC platform, to find some users' feedback, and then they go into online shopping platform to grab coupons and then finally order that. This also gave the KOLs more directions, including beauty makeup bloggers, lifestyle bloggers, musicians, KOLs, or live streaming stars, and so on.
Ultimate introduction to social media in China. In this video, we're going to be looking at the incredible ecosystem of video, live streaming, and also short video in China. We've tried to break down the video ecosystem into these three main categories. The first one is the streaming platforms, and you can think of these a little bit like a combination between perhaps YouTube, but also Netflix as well. They all license content from both Western providers and also Chinese content houses, the equivalents of Disney, etc. here in China. And these platforms are all, again, owned by the major players in this ecosystem. At the top we have iQIYI, which is owned by Baidu, and then next we have Tencent's own video platform. I think it's often known as QQ Video. It's also where, if you're doing marketing, if any videos that you want to put inside WeChat articles or anything else like that, they're all going to also be hosted on Tencent's video platform. Then third, in sort of a slightly more distant place, is Youku, which also owns Tudou. Youku is actually the early front runner in the video category in China, and they actually went public and went on to acquire their main rival at the time, which was Tudou, and they've since fallen back a bit. Tencent has had the advantage of really growing its platform through its own ecosystem and shutting out others. If you're posting content on Weibo, you can actually link to almost any of these platforms, and Weibo will embed your video directly into the Weibo stream, which is very convenient. Then fourth on this list is Bilibili. Now Bilibili's been here for quite a while. It's not a new platform, but it's been very hot recently. It's seen as being a bit more authentic and in some ways most similar to the YouTube of China. You're going to find more original content creators on Bilibili, and it has a slightly maybe higher end audience. Then the next category we've put these platforms into is short video. So this is the thing that is receiving a lot of controversy at the moment with TikTok in the US and in other countries, India having recently banned it and the US making moves towards banning it. But short video has been an absolute sensation. I still remember sitting on a long coach journey in China. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 hours, and watching a guy sat next to me watching 15-second videos for the entire duration of the journey. And I think it was really at that point that I first realized the power of the short video platforms, that people weren't wanting to watch these huge feature-length pieces of content, but to just scroll through these short clips of often amusing, funny content. Also within the short video category, you've got Kuaishou, which is the kind of competitor to Douyin. We're actually going to go into these platforms a little bit more detail in a minute. And then we've also got the category of live streaming. Live streaming is something we've seen in the West. You know, Facebook has Facebook Live, Instagram Live. You've also got LinkedIn Live lately, which I'm not entirely sure about the use case of that, but they've decided to add that function as well. Well, live streaming in China is also a really big phenomenon, and we'll be taking a quick look at that too. So on this next slide here, you can see the breakdown of the different platforms. We've got iQIYI there with 301 million users, really the dominant platform there. They have a huge amount of content that you can consume, and you can subscribe, pay a small fee with mobile payments through your phone, through WeChat or Alipay, and then you're able to watch that content. It's interesting to note that there's not really any such thing as recurring monthly subscriptions in China. They are starting to become the case, but actually most of these consumer type platforms require you to pay up front in advance. There's not really subscription credit card billing in China like we have in the West, where you can just subscribe to a magazine or a service like Netflix, and every month the money's taken off your card. A lot of these applications require you to pay upfront for 3, 6 months, a year or more at once. So as we said, Tencent Video, part of the WeChat Tencent ecosystem, and 100% owned by Tencent. Then we've got Youku, which was owned by Alibaba. And finally, Bilibili, which is an interesting case, again, of Alibaba and Tencent co-investing. There's been a lot of interest in the platform Bilibili recently. We've seen brands like LV doing a campaign on Bilibili, and it's certainly a question we get asked by a lot of our customers: when and where are you going to support Bilibili, as they see it a really good platform for quite high quality content marketing. It has a very high quality audience, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens to Bilibili in the coming year as it attracts more popularity. So then on viral video streaming, Douyin really was the front runner when it came to viral video, and Kuaishou are their #1 competitor. But these are two very different platforms. Douyin is much more popular in first-tier cities, and Kuaishou is much more popular in lower-tier cities. The content on these two platforms is also very different. I was just talking to a marketer yesterday who was saying that as somebody from a first-tier city, she almost doesn't even understand or quite get the content on Kuaishou. Kuaishou also has a lot more commercialized content, so there's a lot of brands use it as a platform for actually selling products, describing their products, and the users are quite happy to receive this type of content. They don't feel bombarded with this advertorial type content. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Will there continue to be two players in this market? Will they come up against each other more as rivals in the future? There's definitely a lot of brands at this point are having a presence on both of those platforms. One of the other interesting peculiarities is that Kuaishou also has a slightly more geographic focus. It's very popular in Dongbei with a lot of users there. Quite why, I'm not entirely sure. So again, an example of where different audiences, different platforms, and so as marketers we really have to understand who we're trying to reach and then select the appropriate platform. Going on to live streaming, this is a really interesting one for me. I must admit, I personally have never really been a fan of live streaming, and it can be quite hard, I think, for a lot of us, certainly in the West, and to be honest, even in first-tier cities, to relate to the phenomenon of live streaming, but it is undeniably incredibly popular. We included Taobao Live in our e-commerce section, which is a product kind of within Taobao, allowing brands and KOLs to stream about products. But there are also these other platforms. There's Douyu, which is the most popular platform owned by Tencent. There's Huya, which again another Tencent property. There's Huajiao, which unusually for a reasonably successful tech company in China is actually private. And then there's YY, which is listed on the Nasdaq.
Characterization on social media is very important. It is the first impression on your audience will have on you. A clear persona can help you gain fans quickly. You need to think about some topic areas and content feature persona. For example, if you are an athlete blogger, what kind of content you would like to show your followers? Whether you introduce your daily outfit, to the camera, or you need some interesting short videos to attract audience attention or something. Good content is more important than your personal position and can attract fans in the long run. Bloggers choose different fields and naturally attract different groups of people. That they need to create a labeled model for the followers. Only when the bloggers know enough about their fans and they can provide more related content to optimize followers' needs. We usually divide the fans' pictures into the following parts. Demographic attributes including gender, age, education, social role, marriage status, and other basic clarification about people. The characteristics, culture and history, entertainment and games, what they like, dressing or beauty makeup, parenting style, and so on. Geographical attributes. Where are your followers from? In which country? What city? Behavioral characteristics. These are mainly based on some data from your social media platforms, and it can usually be downloaded directly or analyzed with the help with some tools. Right. Here are 3 steps to organize to create your personal IP. Because of internet is a free space where everyone is free to express their opinions. So KOL are more easily to face a reputation crisis. In the fermentation and discussion of a content event, the big square internet communication environment allow humors to spread quickly. The truth will become confusing. It is difficult to gain the public trust again if one internet celebrity gets caught up in something like this. In large companies or organizations like MC and NGC, they have crisis communication teams to handle this kind of issues for them. But for individual KOL, one rumor can turn into a serious blow to their career. Network information monitoring. Monitor the website to check any content about you. The first step is to grasp your picture for the reputation by scanning all search engines, social media platforms, phones, and so on. And second, manage negative comments in real time, reducing the impact of negative personal information. Sensitive topics. When you talk to the public or you create your content in an open area in internet, please pay attention to avoid political, racial, and other inappropriate statements and content. Create and spread a positive image to public. Many KOLs cooperate with public service to help farmers sow goods, helping boost the economy of remote areas. More and more crisis don't warn us that when there is a large public reputation crisis happened, it is not advisable to merely run away from it. Taking a proactive approach and continuously manage personal reputation can make KOL's career more long-lasting. In today's increasingly mature economy around internet celebrities, it is no secret that KOLs have their teams to support them. And the current market has reached hundreds of billions, and the capital giants have been constantly pouring in. Short video director, beauty blogger assistant, and lots of new professions related to the internet celebrities economy has appeared. And KOL studios and MCN agencies have long been officially on the stage of the history and make KOL economy development from small scale to a real industry.
He is a 27-year-old beauty advisor turned live streamer and one of the top influencers in China. He once sold 15,000 lipsticks in only 5 minutes and has a following of 42.1 million fans on Douyin. Each month, he earns over $150,000. This was made possible because of live streaming e-commerce, a rising trend in China. In addition to making stars out of streamers like Li Jiaqi, it's driving billions of sales to e-commerce platforms. So how does it work? Generally speaking, it has similarities to traditional TV shopping. Products are showcased by hosts and sold at discount pricing. But with live streaming, there's added real-time interaction. This allows audiences to ask questions about products which streamers can directly answer. Things sold by live streamers include just about anything. Things like coats, lipsticks, a Maserati, an apartment, and even a rocket launch service. So this begs the question, what makes live streaming and e-commerce a good match? Live streaming entered China in 2015 and quickly gained popularity. By June 2019, the number of live streaming users reached 433 million, making up over 50% of Chinese internet users. Initially, live streaming was mostly for entertainment and socialization. But in 2016, Alibaba launched Taobao Live, adding a live streaming feature to the e-commerce platform. The aim was to entice users to spend more time on Taobao, and the strategy worked. During Singles Day 2019, users who watched live streaming spent an average of 53 minutes on Taobao, twice as much as those who didn't.
即使是在线上交易或体验的时候，还是会无限的去追求这个体验是接近于线下的。无论是说被人服务的这种感觉，然后交互的这种速度上，还有这种信息量上，那其实直播都是更符合那个趋势的。
Taobao Live now has over 400 million cumulative users and exceeded a GMV of 28.3 billion last year. And it got another boost due to the coronavirus outbreak. Since physical stores were forced to stay closed during the pandemic, brand owners turned to live streaming to sell their products. Compared with January, the number of merchants that used Taobao Live increased by 719% in February. In fact, sales driven by the top 2 Taobao streamers Via and Li Jiaqi have already exceeded most physical stores. During Singles Day 2019, Via sold 2.7 billion yuan worth of products within 24 hours, with Li Jiaqi also selling over 1 billion. Due to their influence, top streamers hold great bargaining power over suppliers. This allows them to get products at the lowest price and helps attract more customers. Apart from full-time streamers, e-commerce live streaming also provided opportunities for farmers and small business owners. According to Kuaishou, over 19 million users have sold products on the platform by 2019, and 5 million of them are living in poor areas. In many cases, becoming a successful live streamer isn't something one can simply pick up. Most streamers are involved with MCNs, or multi-channel networks. These are talent incubators that train talent and offer assistance for growing fan base and connecting with brands. But very few of them can reach the level of Li Jiaqi and Via. The top live streamers contribute to more sales than those at the bottom. E-commerce companies are also looking toward live streaming for growth. JD.com, Pinduoduo, and Mogul are among the e-commerce companies to launch live stream features in recent years, while Kuaishou and Douyin also plan on becoming significant players in the market. On April 1st, Luo Yonghao, the charismatic founder of smartphone brand Smartisan, made his live stream debut on Douyin. He sold more than $15.5 million worth of goods in 3 hours. This partnership has marked Douyin's ambitions to challenge the incumbent leader Taobao Live. Live streaming e-commerce has also made its way outside of China. In Southeast Asia, Shopee and Alibaba-owned Lazada have also added live streaming to their platforms. So will live streaming change the e-commerce scene in China and the rest of the world? It remains to be seen, but there are some promising signs.
Hooli is an overseas student accommodation rental platform. Our customers are all from the overseas student groups. In the past, we displayed the apartment information by posting its pictures and videos on our website and the app. We have also created several social media accounts that export diverse information to serve our users. Now we are considering inviting study abroad bloggers and KOLs to show full details of the apartment through room tour blog or other video formats, so that viewers can check every corner of the apartment in a more visually dynamic way. Since the video may contain the common areas and facilities, the surroundings of the apartment, the interior layouts of the rooms, the kitchen, and the restroom essentials. Overseas students have their own social circles. They tend to share similar values and plans for the future. Many followers of the bloggers are also prospective students who are going to study in the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, and other countries and regions in the future. Consumers in modern society, we all know the importance of brand awareness. Supporting overseas students' KOLs can also help us get closer to our consumers. For the selection of content creators, our criteria are as follows: whether their styles fit our brand image, whether their content is creative and impressive enough, and whether they have the ability to output content continuously. In addition, the data is also important. We will analyze their past communication data, conversion performance, and feedback from promotion users or fans on several platforms. If all these aspects perform very well, then we will consider the above factors and launch long-term cooperation with them.
Hi everyone, this is Karen speaking. I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Sydney in 2020, and currently I'm doing the Master of Interaction Design and Electronic Arts at Sydney Uni. My exchange experience in Japan. At first, I was actually encouraged by the slogan of the exchange program in my home university, "Make the world your campus." It sounds really interesting, and since Japanese is my second foreign language and I was looking forward to studying in Japan, I then applied for exchange at the Kyoto University. Luckily, I made it happen and spent one semester in Japan. Looking back on my exchange experience, I encountered culture shocks and I gained unexpected but exciting stories as well. For instance, I was invited to join a Japanese radio program. I think exchange experience is a precious memory in my life that I will never forget. I actually have lots of hobbies, including traveling, drama, musicals, stand-up comedy shows, and so on. During traveling, I would like to take photos or videos and share them with my friends. Overall, I'm curious about outside world and love trying something new. And recently, I became a big fan of longboard and learning dancing on the board. Of course, I usually devoted my semester breaks to doing some internships. At first, I was confused about my future career. By making full use of online information and career center in my university, I then decided to find some internships. Also, before doing the postgraduate course, I took a gap year to develop my personal skills and gain working experience. I once worked in advertising, internet, and fast-moving consumer goods industries. Now I'm quite clear about my future career. There's no doubt that innovation is the essence of content creating. And I think life is a source of innovation, keeping an eye on your surroundings and thinking deeply. For example, you could communicate with people from different backgrounds and gain some inspirations. You might need to reflect on some issues and affairs in the society, or you can probably get out of the box by escaping from your daily routines, etc. Or in all, conceiving a passion for life and exploring the world with curiosity. While studying abroad is a quite interesting experience, I do enjoy interacting with people from different backgrounds. This always makes me feel so excited. Vlog is a form of recording. I do enjoy shooting videos to record my daily life. But at first, I don't want to run it as my second career. Surprisingly, one day, a local overseas niche brand contacted me through my social media ID and wanted to collaborate with me and post some product advertisements in my videos. Some of my friends were also making their own videos. They might put these videos on their social media platforms and share with the audience. They have many topics in their videos. For example, they might take a video of exploring local stores, or they might take a school day video, and so on. Some of them might receive collaborations from brands and put some advertisements on their videos, but I'm not sure about their revenue. I have no idea about whether should I become a KOL or operate my social media account as my career. Now I'm still focusing on studies and job hunting. First of all, I need to learn more about my potential followers. I need to analyze the needs of my target audience so that I can create contents based on their preference. For example, if my followers are students who are interested in studying abroad, they are potential overseas students, I will share knowledge about how to apply for universities, how to rent a room in foreign countries, what does the university curriculum look like, and how to manage your studies, and so on. Also, I think my videos will be an open window into the nature and culture of different countries for my followers. I will share something interesting like different festivals and tourist attractions or other things that my audience would be curious about. Considering that I'm a content creator, it is quite important for me to keep updating my contents and make my updating into a routine for my audience. What's more, I need to consider the unique selling points of my contents. What makes me impressive and outstanding from other vloggers. Based on my personalities and my experience, I need to develop contents that can be more attractive for potential audience and followers. Last but not least, commercial collaboration. I think it is actually a two-way selection. I know brands will select KOL based on their styles, whether their styles suit their products. And from my point of view as a KOL, I should be responsible for my followers and my audience. I will also choose partners carefully. Nowadays, with the development of Way Media, key opinion leaders come to the spotlight. They have a number of followers, and to some extent, their suggestions or decisions would have an influence on their followers. Also, Gen Z has become the target audience for many brands. I think that is the reason why many business sectors would like to cooperate with Gen Z KOLs. Similar to celebrity endorsement, KOLs can also become the spokesman of brands. Usually, brands will pay KOLs with commissions and ask them to create advertisements. However, compared to commercial advertisements created by brands themselves, advertisements created by KOLs are usually full of their own styles, and they will be catered to their followers' preference. For example, a KOL with tech background might cooperate with a high-tech brand. He or she can create contents or stories based on the product provided by the brand. It is an advertisement but presented in the form of storytelling, which might be more attractive and acceptable for followers. I think this might be a win-win business model for both KOLs and business sectors.
At present, the new economy led by KOL can be regarded as a new model of development of digital economy. Behind it, digital technology empowerment, industry chain, sports, and innovation have both new vitality to social innovation and a free environment. However, throughout the history of economic development, the emergence of new models will also bring a lot of problems. So the regulation and the supervision of the industry still needs to be improved. Scandals about social celebrities involved in tax problem and selling fake goods have also emerged, making us realize that our sense of morality has become very weak under the temptation of the money and profit. At the end, let's talk about the open questions. First, what do you think about measuring a content creator by his commercial value? The second, what do you think the key elements of being a qualified KOL? The last one, what do you think about people having more expectations of stricter ethical standard for KOL? Thank you for your time.